What's happening, fam? It's Mr. Food for Thought, man. Life lessons for Mr. Shedeur Sanders that we all can benefit from. In 2006, I had to drive from Texas all the way to North Carolina to fight for custody of my son. And it was very emotional. We was in the courtroom all day, from 8 o'clock that morning till 5 o'clock that afternoon. And the judge said that it was a tough decision. But he said, I want the child to go with his dad. And his mother broke down and she cried, but she cried for the wrong reasons. Now, this is December of 2006. So after the court hearing concluded, I go to her and tell her that I want to leave him in school till the end of the school year. Then I come pick him back up in the summer because he was struggling in one class and fell in another class, and I didn't want to disrupt what he was doing. And his mother looked at me and she told me, you take him. I said, no, I'm not going to take him. He's struggling right now. She said, you take him. She was so hurt and mad. My lawyer looked at me. She said, Mr. Helen, you love your son too much to let him fail. She said, take your son. At this point, I broke down and started crying. So I drove up there in a little small rental car and I asked her to give me some of his clothes. And she had a husband come in his truck, and almost everything he owned, they brought. I said, I don't have anywhere to put all this stuff. He more or less told me, you got to figure it out. So I'm in this little small car, and it's loaded with toys, clothes, and my son is sitting in the back, and he has this much room. And we have about an 18 to 24-hour trip. And he's 12, so he understands what's going on, but I didn't say anything about his stepdad or his mom. I just looked at him, and I could tell he was distraught. And here's a message that I have for anybody, but particularly Mr. Shedeur Sanders, in reference to this story. Before I crunked that car up to come back to Texas, and my son is sitting on the side in the back, and I looked at him, and this is what I told him. I said, son, you got two choices. You've been given some lemons. You can become sour, or you can take those lemons and make you some lemonade. I said, now what do you want to do? I need to know, what do you want to do before we head back to Texas? He looked at me. He said, Dad, let's go to Texas and make some lemonade. So you got it. So we got back to Texas, and within about a year and a half, he was taking AP courses, making A's and B's in all his courses. What's my point? It's not hard to figure out why Shedeur Sanders is experiencing what he's experiencing. And they placed him in a position where every quarterback that's been at Cleveland for the most part over the last several years has failed. They don't want that young man to succeed. But I would tell him the same thing that I told my son if I ever had a chance to talk to him. You've been given some lemons. They wanted you to hurt. Young man, you have the opportunity to turn lemons into lemonade. And for those of you who are watching, I want you to know and understand that life is not fair. Life is not fair. And there are going to be many times that me and you are given some lemons. And it's not fair. Yeah. But I want you, as well as Mr. Shedeur, to turn those lemons into lemonade.